Now, your outline doesn't have to be your completed thesis. You're going to submit this outline to me, and I'm going to give you feedback on your thesis. A couple of suggestions I would have given this student. One, he should reduce the pronoun use in them. In them, with referring to the environment, is probably not the most clear pronoun use. Also, the use of us or our should be avoided in a thesis because you want to write an objective third person. So just to stay safe, it should say the economy or product for Americans to eat, so that that pronoun is no longer second person, but instead objective third person. Now, maybe you don't know your thesis right away, and that can be intimidating. Here's some tips on how to build it. What you want to do basically in a thesis is combine your specific purpose with your best arguments. So here, we're looking at the idea that people should buy organic foods, and here are the best 3 reasons why. Because it preserves the planet, it provides a safe and healthy product, and it helps out our economy. So our thesis should combine those ideas. Now, it's not always easy to know exactly what your arguments are going to be before you start your outline, and that's where the article highlighting document becomes so useful. We've already documented our 20 pieces of evidence and highlighted those. Now we can use this to our advantage, scroll back through our document, and find some arguments that can support our thesis or our main ideas. So we have our subject, we have our stance, and now we're going to build our argument. So I go back through what I've highlighted, and I try to think about what was the most useful information, what meant the most, what contributes best to my purpose. And that's how I'm going to pull my arguments out. So remember, your article highlighting is not only a grade in how I check for plagiarism, but it is very helpful. It is a good tool in building your research paper. It's not just going through the motions, it's something that'll really help you out. Now, if you're really going to use your article highlighting document to help you build your outline, there's an easy trick that can save you a lot of time on your research paper. Now, here's another student sample that's talking about stem cell research. And one of the main arguments here, argument 1, reads, the use of embryonic cells as opposed to adult stem cells has shown to be ineffective and poses several ethical and moral implications. Now, this sounds like pretty specific evidence, but I bet she has a source for it. So if I look at support 1, notice there's a sentence there, but there's also a parenthetical citation. So this sentence contributes to her argument, plus she's already cited one of her sources in the outline. So this will contribute very easily to what she does in the research paper. Notice there's also a direct quote in support number 2. It says, following the belief of life at conception, all basic rights are granted to embryos from the moment of their formation. And that has a parenthetical citation as well. This paragraph, when she gets to it in her paper, will write it itself because she's already built such an outline that has not only information that will guide the paragraph, but parenthetical citations that give specific evidence for the argument. A very good way to start a paper that will finish effectively. One last thing to remember, that this is a persuasive research paper, so your arguments shouldn't be background information. It shouldn't be history. Your argument itself needs to be debatable because you need debatable ideas in your thesis statement. So remember, if you're trying to build your thesis statement from your arguments, you don't want the history of dogfighting or the definition of embryonic cells. Instead, you want that included in your paragraphs, but you want an argument to be a full sentence that has a debatable idea inside it with supporting facts that might be less debatable, but your argument itself needs to be debatable.